In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Mazzer Mini. It's an electric model grinder. Now these Mazzer Minis, they've been in households for a while now. They've had different iterations. They used to have like a big metal funnel on the front, or they had a dozered model that you flip into your portafilter. But this is really kind of designed with the home use in mind. You may also see these at some cafes as like a second or third grinder, maybe a decaf grinder. Now, what is the Mazzer Mini? It's a very robust, small grinder from Mazzer. And it's got 64 millimeter burrs inside. These are the 233Ms. The 233Ms are made out of what they call bearing steel. So a very strong and solid, robust steel. It has got a display on it with 1 cup, 2 cup options, as well as a third manual button on there. You can engage the grinder simply by pressing one of those buttons, which has a timer behind it. Or you can press and hold this button down here, and that's going to switch it to portafilter mode. So then all you do is select if you want time number 1 or if you want time number 2, and then simply put your portafilter in here like so, and it will activate. You see, it also holds the portafilter. This is a 58 millimeter portafilter that fits in there, and I do believe that they have designed the Mazzer Mini with that in mind. So I've tried other portafilters, smaller ones, they don't fit in there so well. So do keep that in mind. They give you longer ones that I have installed right now. They give you also shorter little tabs that you can install on here if you have a thinner portafilter. Now, before we go further, I should mention that Mazzer sent me this model, and it kind of brings me full circle. And that's interesting to me. You know, I first was eyeballing these beautiful Mazzer grinders when I got into espresso at the coffee shops. One of my favorite coffee shops is Collectivo in Wisconsin, and they use an array of Mazzer grinders. They got, I think, Super Jollies for their main espresso and for their seasonal espresso, and then they got a smaller one, I think like this, for decaf. So yeah, I got to know them basically because of that, which is really cool. So Mazzer sent me this model. I don't get to keep it though. I've got to send it back. It's only on loan. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion about it. Let's just keep going here and talk a little bit about the features. I've mentioned the burr size. The motor, it ranges in anywhere between 210 watts. I've measured it with no load, or about close to 300 watts with a load. It chews through beans, no problems. I've tried, medium dark roast. I've tried something on the lighter side of medium. All that's no problem at all. You can also use this kind of as a single dose grinder. I've been doing that because I'm switching between various methods. It does all right. If I put in 10 grams, then I get just about 10 out, maybe 9.8 out instead. But that's just the displacement. So the retention, I've taken this grinder apart as well. The retention is actually quite high. If you remove everything, and I'll try to do that at the end of this video. If you remove everything, dump out all the grounds, it tends to be about 4 grams of actual retention in there. So like I said, it's really kind of a grinder built for the gastronomy because of that high retention. Another reason I think it's built for the gastronomy is that, well, it's really kind of hard to adjust this top collar. So if I want to adjust it, and I'll show you where my reference is. My reference is at 5 here on the collar. So let me just adjust that now. Just before 5. And I'm right around 6.3, 6.4 for espresso. And you see that I really kind of have to hold it with both hands while I'm adjusting, because it can be pretty jerky to make that adjustment. So that does take some getting used to. It would be nice if this top collar was easier to adjust. But then again, I think it was designed, for coffee shops in mind, where you just set it once and forget it. Maybe you have to tighten up the grind a little bit during the day. And that's another kind of weird thing, is to tighten the grind, you have to go counterclockwise. So you're going counterclockwise to tighten the grind, you're going clockwise to loosen the grind. And that's a little counterintuitive to me. You also have to go completely clockwise to remove the upper burr carrier. But anyway, you get used to it after a while. Now the machine also comes with this little catch tray right here. This is plastic, but otherwise the machine is built very, very solidly. As you can see here, it's got stainless steel portafilter holder. It's got the stainless steel back plate. The exit chute is stainless steel. The body is die-cast aluminum. The bean hopper, I believe, some kind of plastic, like maybe it's Triton, I'm not that sure. And then I think that the upper burr carrier and the lower burr carrier, that the chamber essentially is aluminum. So very well built, 8.7 kilos. It's hefty, a very hefty grinder. I think that if you buy this, it's going to be with your family for a long time to come. And it makes very nice espresso. I've been using it in various machines, tried it on the Gage Classic Pro. I've tried it on the new Oracle dual boiler, and it makes beautiful espresso. A very nice body, in my opinion. And the taste is very good. I don't know if it's the clarity that's better, the intensity of the taste is more. It's just altogether a more mature shot is really the only way that I can describe it. But anyway, with all that being said, I would say let's just grind some beans and do a demo of this guy. But before we use it, let's just take a quick look at all sides. So what I really appreciate about the design of the Mazzer Mini and really all the Mazzer bodies, they got this beautiful S-curve in there, and that really reflects the light in the kind of gradient that I think is super duper cool. I think the grinder is just beautiful. I mean, oh, look at that. Very nice lines on that grinder, and I love the logo. I mean, man, Italians, they just know how to design. And this grinder was designed and built near Venice. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful grinder. This is what the bottom looks like. You can see you got some big fat feet on there. These big, they're like industrial rubber feet. You can see this cord holder on there is also industrial. Like we use those suckers at work on our industrial machines. You can see the button here on this side. That sucker's robust. I mean, if you want a grinder that's going to last you a long time and that once is going to be your buddy for years to come, that's a nice grinder. Let's make some espresso. All right, guys, before I go any further in the video, if you're liking this video, if it's giving you any value, then hit that like button. And otherwise, if you'd like to see more videos like this one in the future, consider subscribing on this video. That way I know to make more content like this in the future. Okay, so I'm accompanied on my left by the brand new Oracle dual boiler by Sage or by Breville, depending where you're at. And I'm using these freshly roasted M-Espresso beans. These are from a local roaster, and yeah, they're nice beans. They're 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta, about 4 weeks off of roast date. So what we're gonna do is put, let's do a 19 gram dose. 19 grams. And we're going to check the displacement. I'm going to put these in there, and then we're going to see how much comes out. So we start with 19.0, and I expect 18.8 out. I made a grind of, okay, about 1.3 or 1.4 off of reference. Now, before we do this, I should mention my reference point is at 5. And in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different segments here on the dial in total. Now the dial with one revolution moves 1.5 millimeters, meaning that each one of these segments is 150 microns. So I'm at about nearly 1.5 off of reference, or about 225 microns. So here we go. Let's see what we get. Now to get everything out, it is going to take a little time, so I may run the timer twice. Okay, and I'm gonna run it again. So you see we still have a little stream of powder coming out, and I'm just gonna let it run for a total of 30 seconds, so 2 times 15. The maximum you can run this is 20 seconds, by the way. It's got a duty cycle, 20 seconds on, and it's supposed to be off for, I think, 80 seconds. Anyway, what do we get out? 18.3. Okay, so 0.7 grams of displacement. Let me just try one more time, see if we get anything else out. Oh, there's a bean stuck. It's going to vary a bit because the amount of grounds that are still in the chamber, they may get stuck behind the little flap that's here at the exit chute or in the exit chute itself. That might vary a little bit, but we ended up with 18.5 out, so let's say 0.5 of displacement. Not so bad. Anyhow, let's go ahead and make our espresso. And I'm gonna make it easy on myself today and use this tool for doing the WDT. And then I'm going to use this nice force tamper from Sage as well. So that's the puck we're working with right there. Let's just see what it looks like. Now, one thing you can do when you're using this dual boiler, it's got a function that you can bloom. So it pre-infuses first, then you can start it blooming and let it bloom for a bit, and then go to town with the 9 bars of pressure. So let's just see if I can do that and hold the camera at the same time. Yeah, maybe a little late there on the bloom, but let's do the rest. All right, so we got 41 grams out in 32 seconds, including a bloom. But yeah, that looks like a tasty shot. Let's give that a taste. Cheers. So that is a very delightful shot. And if I got that at a cafe, I'd be delighted because this is really nicely balanced. There's a good sweetness to it. I find that actually, I'm not sure what it is, but the grinder seems to bring out just a little more sweetness than I'm used to. And I get bittersweet chocolate, as I always do with this bean, but also a pretty nice note of hazelnut. It's very, very good. And I'm really satisfied with the taste from this grinder. You're also going to notice, I'll include some B-roll here. I've been testing this grinder compared to the integrated one. Of course, there's a difference in price here. Obviously, the integrated grinder here is a small conical grinder, and it does its own distribution, does its own tamping, but there's a big difference. So if you look at the shot from the Mazzer, you'll see that the puck actually saturates and extracts more evenly, whereas on the Oracle dual boilers included grinder, you're going to see that you first get some extraction out of the middle because it's not tamped evenly, and then you get a bit of a donut at the edge before the rest of the shot starts. So I think it's a pretty good example of why an external grinder does a better job than something included that also does the puck prep. Let me put this guy away and we're going to finish up the video. All right, to close out the video, what we're going to do is just have a look-see how much retention is in there. I'm going to put the retention I find here on this disc. So first of all, we got to remove the hopper. There is a hopper holding screw in here. Remove that guy. And now we have to turn, let me turn this guy off, obviously. And now we have to turn this clockwise to loosen. Now I do find that, as I mentioned, a little counterintuitive, but what are you gonna do? There's a stopper screw on there as well. I think that's also made for gastronomical use to not get way out of whack on your grind. All right, so now we're out already. Nice heavy, oops, There we go. Let me just remove this. Oh, that's in the way. I'm just going to keep it. Anyhow, that's what the upper burr carrier looks like. It's threaded like so with some kind of food safe grease on the threads. Now you can see there's also a little bit of grinds in there. I'm just going to try to remove those. I have done that before while testing the grinder off camera, and there's some grinds that come out. But it's not all too bad. That gets stuck in there. So anyway, upper burr, you can see it's not blind. It's got 3 screws in there, and they also will contain a little bit of grinds, of course. But again, this is not designed as a single dose grinder. You're supposed to put beans in the hopper and just use it quite a bit. So just keep that in mind. If you want a single dose grinder by Mazzer, you should consider the Philos. So anyhow, actually it doesn't look bad in there today. Since I waited, I think we got a fair amount out. So I'll dump this over. I'm sure there's some in the chute. Let's see if I can catch that. The chute comes out pretty easily. It's just a Phillips screw. All right, so really nothing in the chute. That was empty. Yeah, actually, it does not look all that bad at all. Oh, dang it. How much retention is there? Actually, it's just 1.1 that I got out that time. So if you want to use this as a single dose grinder, I'm sure that's not what they intended it for, but I only got 1 gram out this time. The first time I looked, it was 4 grams, but I guess it really depends on just how long you give this guy to sweep out all the grounds. So if you give it a long time, 30 seconds, 40 seconds to sweep out everything, then it actually clears out pretty well. I'm gonna put this back together and we'll finish out the video. Well, let's draw some conclusions and have a few final thoughts about this grinder, and is it worth the €800 price? Now, as for me, I mean, I have a bias towards Mazzer. As I mentioned, it's the first grinder that I saw when I went to the coffee shops, and I just like it. I like how it looks. I like how heavy it is, the robustness of it. The espresso that I get out of it is very good. There's a lot of things that I like about it. I also like how they've modernized the design. It's nice. It's also built in Venice, so those are a lot of good things for me. Also, if I wasn't constantly testing different things, I would probably prefer to use a hopper grinder like this one, just dump all my beans in there and just use it for normal espresso every day. So for my use case, it would be quite good. With all that being said, there are a few minus points to it. If you are dumping all the beans in there, I have emptied out the chamber before, and if you don't give it a lot of time to sweep everything out, then it can retain up to 4 grams of coffee, so that is quite a bit. That is one thing to consider. I don't like so much how hard it is to make the adjustment here on the upper burr carrier, but it is what it is, so to speak. Yeah, other than that, I really can't say too much bad about it. I like the grinder. There is one thing, however, that I think would make this thing even sweeter, and that would be a grind by weight grinder. And they do make one of those as well. So this is the more simple timed version, and they're releasing one, a Mazzer Mini, also with a grind by weight integrated grinder, and I think that's a couple hundred more. But if I was gonna spend the money, then I would probably take the grind by weight version, pay the €1,000 and be done with it. Buy once, cry once. All right, guys, I hope that you liked the video. And until next time, I say happy coffee drinking, happy espresso drinking. Bye now.